Welcome in here to Signing Day Central. Woody Wommack, Mike Farrell in New York City. We are joined by Southeast recruiting analyst Chad Simmons. Chad, obviously big time news coming in the Southeast region. We're going to start with Tennessee. You were out watching Harrison Bailey, the Vols quarterback, commit this week. Tell us what you saw from him and who might be joining him in Knoxville over the next few days.
Obviously Harrison's been a hot topic really for, 3 or 4 years now. Was a big name coming out of middle school and played with a lot of expectations, a lot of hype around the name, and obviously leading his team in his fourth year to a state championship over a powerful team in South Georgia, Lowndes High School, full of speed, physical players. And I think they somewhat surprised Marietta a little bit, did beating Lowndes the way they did and handled that game. And a big reason why was Harrison Bailey. Just his leadership, his decision-making, really was sharp. And not just this game. I got to see him the last 2 weeks, semifinals and the finals, and completed over 70% of his passes, threw for close to 750 yards. I mean, some of his best balls were even dropped, down the field, 40 and 50-yard passes. And just how everything has kind of come together for him. He's lost some weight and really increased his mobility, his quickness to extend plays, to buy time in the pocket. He's not going to be a guy that makes big plays down the field with his legs, but he has improved that just to really buy a few seconds extra time outside the pocket. And he's become a precision passer, whether it be the short game, intermediate, deep balls. He has touch, he has arm strength, really has impressed. And I know there's been, like you said before, Woody, a debate about his ranking, his stars, whatnot. I'm now in the boat to the 5-star ranking. He's really impressed. And he'll have other guys around him from Georgia at Tennessee. They just flipped the Nico Slaughter from Arizona State last week. I think they're trying to hang on and convince 4-star receiver athlete Jimmy Callaway to sign early and not to visit schools like Auburn and Florida in January. I think a name to watch for sure is running back jumbo athlete Laneith Whitehead from Athens Academy. He's going to sign this week. It's down to Tennessee, UCLA. Auburn's been involved there too, but that they will have other guys join Harrison Bailey from Georgia this cycle.
Let's talk about flips, because I love flips. Broderick Jones, what's the latest on the 5-star offensive tackle who is committed to Georgia? And anybody else in your region you think might flippity-flip?
I think obviously the biggest name as a potential possible flip this week is Broderick Jones, new 5-star offensive tackle from Lithonia, Georgia, longtime Georgia commit. He was committed to Georgia, and a big part of that, Sam Pittman, still committed. Nothing's changed there. Auburn's definitely given him something to think about. He's been there a couple of times for games this season. He stays away from the media, so you have to kind of use different sources to kind of put things together with Broderick. Right now, I still think he is likely not to sign with Auburn or Georgia this week. Things could still change between now and Wednesday. But I do think he'll take official visits as of right now to Auburn and Georgia in January and then make a late decision. As far as potential flips, I think there'll be probably a few likely in the South. I think one, DeRicky Wright from Alabama and longtime Ole Miss commit, one-time Bama commit. So he's already flipped one time. I do think he could end up at Vanderbilt. He was there quietly over the weekend. They're leaning probably, I think, towards, trending per se right now over Ole Miss. Jaheim Bell, he was a guy that was one time committed to Florida. I think he's leaning towards South Carolina right now. There's going to be some other guys that make maybe surprising, maybe not necessarily flips, but surprising commits come Wednesday.
What's the scene been like in Mississippi now with Lane Kiffin there? Are you hearing more buzz for the Rebels? Is he kind of disrupting the scene? Are we going to have some a good rivalry between him and Mississippi State with what he's going to be able to do here down the stretch?
But one thing I think has been pretty clear, he's been pretty honest about the commits that he wants to keep, and guys he's kind of cutting loose. He's cut a few loose already. He's made other guys feel like a priority. I think they have a good chance to keep or get back Kentrell Bullock, a top running back in Mississippi, longtime Ole Miss commit, decommitted the day after Matt Luke was fired. I think you'll see him sign. He was going, as of last week, likely not to sign with anyone this week. I think now he will sign with Ole Miss. And probably the biggest fish out there, especially in-state, is Josiah Hayes, a Rivals 250 4-star defensive tackle from Horn Lake. Kentucky had some buzz. Auburn brought him in for an official 2 weeks ago. He was a longtime Ole Miss commit as well. decommitted after the coaching change, but I think he ends up back in Oxford too with Lane Kiffin. So far, it's been pretty positive around Lane Kiffin from high school coaches I've talked to in Mississippi, obviously recruits, some parents as well. I do think you'll see some Kiffin, Joe Moorhead battles in the years to come.
All right, Chad Simmons got his finger on the pulse in the Southeast. Be sure to follow him on Twitter and be sure to stay locked into Rivals.com. We'll have more updates throughout the week.